Let you know, man, you are really encouraging me, motivating me, inspiring me. God is really using you to help me out.
What's going on, family? You guys are so amazing. I'm Mr. AOS Inspires. This is AOS, the podcast. And also, you already know this is 5-minute motivation, 5-minute Friday motivation. Listen, just for 5 minutes, I want to motivate you so that you can get to the next level, so that you can look at what you're doing in a different perspective. And so many people, I got to give this preliminary. So many people ask me, why do you do it on Fridays? Why? Because it's leading into the weekend. And the weekend is the time where you have most free time. More people out of any commit DUIs on the weekends. More people out of any make silly and stupid decisions over the weekend. I want to give you a boost start to your weekend. I want you to stop. That's why we drop on Fridays at 8 a.m. because most people, they're on the way to work. So then you can just tune in to what I got to say and it can resonate in your subconscious and you can think about every decision that you make. Today, I want to talk about this for 5-minute Fridays. Don't adjust, take control. Don't adjust, right? Take control. Now, this is what I want to tell. I'm going to give you a quick story real fast. Then we're going to go into what I got to say before the 5 minutes is up. So there was this story about a frog. The frog jumped into this boiling water, right? And immediately one frog, he jumped out of the boiling water, right? Because it was boiling, it was too hot. But there was another frog, he jumped into a water and the pot of water wasn't hot. It was lukewarm. And what he did was he adjusted the temperature of his body. Did y'all know that frogs can do that? Frogs can adjust the temperature of their own body, right? So he was in the water. It wasn't hot yet. It was warm. And he began to adjust his body. And he just stayed in the water. So what they did was they raised up the temperature. They were doing an experiment. They raised up the temperature and he began to adjust his body again. He didn't get out. He didn't jump out. Why? Because it wasn't that hot. He adjusted to where he was. And then they turned it up a little bit more, almost slight to a boil. And then he adjusted again, didn't jump out, but then they turned it up one last time on its highest level. And the water was boiling hot. He couldn't adjust anymore. He had already adjusted as high as he could adjust. The only thing he can do at this point was jump. But since he had adjusted along the way, his muscles had extracted, and it was too tight. He couldn't jump out. He couldn't move. And when I thought about that story, I thought about that little, situation, experiment that they did, made me think about you guys. How many of you all are at a job that you have adjusted to this lifestyle? Like you watch YouTube, you watch videos, and you listen to people, influencers, and you're like, listen, I want to live life at a higher level. Like I want that Bentley, I want that Rolls Royce. It's not about the money, but I want it. Right? I want to live that life. I want to be able to just spend all day with my children and don't have to worry about money coming in. I want to be able to make money while I'm asleep. And many of you watch this every single day, but you're at a job that's affording you a halfway decent life and you have adjusted. How many of you all have adjusted to the lifestyle that you live now? I mean, you want to live better. Right? You want to be able to take 4 vacations a year, 3 vacations a year, or better yet, you want to be able to just get up and go on a private jet whenever you want to, but your work ethic says differently. Your mouth says one thing, but your work ethic says something totally different. Why? Why is that? It made me think, possibly, you have adjusted to the life that you live. Right? So to that young lady, you want to get married to this guy, right? And you put full court pressure on him 6 months ago. But now you have adjusted because you have become comfortable. Like before you were like, hey, listen, this is my deadline. Like I want to get married. I'm not going to just live this life and play house. I want to get married. And at first you stood firm on it, but life became comfortable and you adjusted. I wonder how many of you all have been adjusting in different aspects of your life. And you want to change, you want to do better, you want to live better, you want to live differently, but it's hard because you have adjusted. I don't want you to keep on adjusting in life because what's going to happen is I'm almost out of time, but what's going to happen is you're going to get to a place called Regret Boulevard. And by that time when you get there, it's going to be a little bit too late in life. You're going to be old and you can't go back and say, let me retract. You can start from where you are when you're older, but the energy that you have, the passion that you have is kind of dwindled down. Why? Because the best years are gone. I'm talking to that 20-year-old, that 30-year-old, that 40-year-old, that 50-year-old. You still have some time behind you, or in front of you, shall I say, to not adjust. Why are you adjusting? I need you to go ahead and jump. Go ahead and jump before you get to the place where adjusting is no longer an option and jumping can't happen. I know I messed that word up, but it's all cool. Let me give you 2 more seconds because I'm out of time. But I don't want you to get to the place where you want to jump, but you can't jump because you waited too long. Stop adjusting. Take control. That's been 5 minutes of motivation. I'm gone.